folks. We are doing the barbecue. It's barbecue season. Maggie's just waking up. Everybody clap your hands. Do whatever it takes. Let's wake Maggie up.
Don't clap your hands.
Hello, hello, everybody. So, yeah, we got baby back ribs. And mashed potatoes. And, of course, had to make some cornbread. Because cornbread is the vegetable. You know, corn.
Hi guys.
I didn't know where the salt was.
It's over here.
Oh, I didn't need it, but I was going to get it for you. So I'm hoping this should be fall off. I was going to cut in between each one, but I think it's going to fall off the bone. That's what I'm hoping. When was the last time you guys had baby back ribs? What you guys having tonight?
There's the bone.
And it fell right off. There you go. Remember when we used to give her the bones? We used to, she used to love these bones, and she'd just eat the whole thing. But then she started breaking teeth, so it ended up not being such a good idea. You just had a grilled cheese? Oh, yum. I can eat grilled cheese like anytime. Those you can have like, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You can have those for like breakfast, snack, whatever. Dinner. Mm-hmm. I haven't made the beef ones in a while because they're so expensive. And there really isn't much meat on them. But I did look at them. I looked at those, you know, the beef ribs. You know, they look like, you know, Flintstone. But there's like no meat on them. You made it in your air fryer? You know, I always forget to use the air fryer. Meg once in a while will pull it out and use it. But I've like almost never used the air fryer, which is silly because I know some people just use them all the time. And it's not that we don't have one. I think we have 3 of them. My video showed up on your FYP yesterday. Yay! I'm glad. I hope you're enjoying it. We also have a YouTube channel, so if something happens to TikTok or if you just want to see like some of our podcasts or other videos, you can check us out over on YouTube. Hey, Christine. I still haven't figured out how to turn off this battle thing that, for some reason, everybody always wants to battle us, and we're not battlers, as you guys know. Once in a great while, Megan will get on hers and we'll do a battle or something, but we're not the we're not the battlers. I know a lot of people, that's what they do on here, but can we food fight one day? Well, we like to eat it more than we like to fight about it, or fight with it. I don't know that we've ever had a food fight, but we could put that on the lineup, and possibly, if we're feeling rich and wasteful someday, we can do that. I made baby back ribs, barbecue baby back ribs, and mashed potatoes and cornbread.
What are you doing, Tater?
But I don't think I've ever been, you know, I remember, you know, people saying that, like, kids in school and stuff would have, like, food fights, but I've never been there when one happened. Were you ever in school when there was, like, a food fight, like, in the cafeteria or anything?
I think there was one time in like the 8th grade, but um, but it wasn't during my lunch. It was like school is such a weird thing, but like they would have different lunches,
Mm-hmm.
and so I remember one time there was a food fight in like an 8th grade lunch. It was like the second lunch
Was it before yours or after yours?
after. And so like we were heading back to class, and I think they had done it like as soon as like they got in the lunchroom,
Mm.
or it was vice versa, and their lunch had just ended and we had like walked in, whatever. I remember just missing one.
I think kids think they can get away with it, first of all, because, well, maybe they didn't like what they were serving that day, but, you know, they're not paying for the food. And chances are, you know how schools are, they don't even keep them for detention or anything anymore. They probably couldn't even make them clean it up, you know?
I remember one time everyone trying to start one, and everyone was like too chicken, and so everyone started like throwing things that like didn't make a mess.
Mm.
Like people started like throwing like apples and oranges and stuff.
Which actually, that would more hurt.
They weren't like throwing them with like,
Um,
and so it was like food fight, and like a couple people started like throwing like oranges. I think to like get people to like
Yeah.
think stuff was being thrown.
right.
But
It didn't
then
catch
we all
on.
just kind of like looked at each other like, oh, that was awkward.
if I don't eat lunch, I'm going to be pretty hungry by the end of the day.
No, I was usually better off not eating school lunch
Oh.
because one of two things could happen. You could have a stomach ache from being hungry, or you could have a stomach ache because of what they're
What you
serving.
ate. Yeah.
And that stomach ache could also then continue to needing to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And,
It makes for a long day. And
so,
hope that your school bus ride home is quick.
so sometimes I would just say, you know, I think it's better if we skip lunch today.
Yeah. And I don't know if they still do, but at one point in our area, our food service was subcontracted out to, I think it's called Artmark or something like that, which is a company that's actually owned, I think, by Marriott. And that does not mean you're getting Marriott quality food, though. Just saying. I think they just kind of like managed it or whatever. So I don't know. I think a lot of the schools do like subcontract out to another company to do it now. Baby back ribs, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. Which I get. I mean, that's in a lot of things, though. People seem to, you know, do that subcontract thing now. That then they're not responsible for all the, you know, payrolls and.
We went for, it was sunny
Dinner's-
today, so we went for a long walk.
Yeah, it was fun. We
And
haven't done that walk in a while.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays are kind of like our Saturday and Sunday.
Mm.
So we came home and we went for like a 2-hour walk or whatever it was in the sun. And we came home and I said, I think I'm gonna take a little nap before dinner.
Just a little nap.
And Mom was like, yeah, me too. I think maybe I'll do that too.
And we're not usually nappers, so.
And so I don't know what time you got up, but she fell asleep like an hour and a half, 2 hours before me. I didn't fall asleep till like 5:36. So then I got back up at like 7:30, 8ish, so I'm still kind of like
In dreamland. Yeah, I said when we went to the market yesterday, I said, how about if we do ribs? And she was like, yeah. Sometimes I do the country style ribs, you know? I don't know if you ever have those. They have a lot more meat on them, but I thought I would do the baby backs. And so I got one big rack and just split it. Pull up the bone, baby. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has restricted their dogs from having bones anymore, but our little Peanut, she loved the bones too much. Like she would just devour them in no time too. She would eat them. I couldn't believe how fast, but she started breaking the teeth. So, but I think she did the worst one when we got her that like antler bone or whatever it was. That was like super hard, I think. Which is that considered a bone, an antler? It's kind of a.
How is burping disrespectful? What's disrespectful about it?
Some countries, it's an absolute compliment to the chef or the cook. And
It's like a bodily function. Like, what's disrespectful about it?
I didn't make a video making the ribs. I guess I could have, but I put them together last night so that they could marinate overnight.
That's slurping, not burping. Right. That's what I was gonna say. Like, burping is definitely. I mean, slurping and like making all crazy noises, whatever, is definitely like a turn off. But you're enjoying your meal next to another person. It's foul. Again, you didn't explain what is disrespectful or foul about it. I think you're trying to push your opinions on other people. Because did you ask the person next to me if she thinks that it's foul? She might.
She might not even answer.
Might think it's foul, but I don't think it's right that you're speaking for her. Because you're not even speaking for her. You're just trying to make me seem like a bad guy. And I'm not. I'm a narcissist, so I'm not a bad guy. They smell and they're gross. Who said my burps smell?
So we didn't get a chance today. We're hoping tomorrow morning to go look for monarch eggs. They better be here by now.
So they smell and they're gross. Again, they're gross. That's an opinion. That, again, you're not explaining what makes it gross. But go on. Go on with your...
And a burp doesn't have like the methane and stuff that.
Yeah, it's not like I'm farting in her face.
Yeah,
I could.
like
Can I ask you a question? Would you burp with a whole table full of people you don't know? I probably wouldn't be at a table full of people I don't know. To start. Why would I be at a table full of people I don't know?
I don't even think we have any of those kind of restaurants around here.
Why would I be at a table full of people I don't know? Since we're asking questions. What were we talking about before? Because you want to meet new friends, but I don't want to meet new friends. That's what, like, I don't understand. Why would I want to meet new friends? If you can't burp in your own home, where can you burp, right? Right?
Yeah, I know some areas that do like I think maybe like up in Maine, like if like they have like a lot of big picnic tables, and sometimes random people will sit together if there isn't a table open, or like down in Texas where they have a lot of the big barbecue places. But we don't have any of those kind of places here.
So burping at a table must be a RI thing because both, uh, me and both my daily do it. I mean, it's just like either, like, I'm not forcing them. It'd be one thing if I was sitting here and I was
Yeah,
like trying, but they're just like,
it's natural. It's not.
they're just like, if I like, I'm not like fabricating them. So at that point, the two options are like, let them happen, or be ashamed and be like, "Ugh," and try and silence them. And if you've ever had to burp and not done it, like, you'll know it, like, after a while, it'll give you like a tummy ache.
And some people say it gives them like heartburn, that they
Yeah.
wish they could burp
Yeah. So,
by trying to like hold it back.
I'm saying your friend was a stranger before you met her. Not true.
We were never strangers.
She ain't never been a stranger to me, darling. I came right out that coot.
She was there.
You've been locked in since the first burp. Right. Why make yourself uncomfortable to make someone comfortable?
Yeah, especially in your own home.
But, like, if I was, like, out in public at a restaurant, like, I'm talking about your friends. Don't you have friends? No, I don't. Family isn't friends. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're like, oh, if you're at a table with strangers you don't know because you want to make friends. I don't do that. Why would I do that? I got her. Why would I do that? So you don't hang out with friends? No. Any other questions?
I have two sons too, and they hang out with us, and they burp at the table too.
Not everyone likes to hang out with strangers. Why don't you have friends? What? What kind of question is that? I've never met anyone who didn't have friends that they don't go out with. Well, first time for everything.
And you know, going out is a little overrated.
I've just never heard that before.
Going out is a little overrated.
I don't, and I love it. There we go, Reagan. What do you do in your free time?
We're super busy. What is free time?
This is very similar to like people being like, "Oh, you're single, and you haven't had a boyfriend? Like you don't go on dates or whatever?" It's like,
that's worse than a job.
or like I saw a post earlier that it was like, if you're like a 30-year-old woman and you don't have kids, like, what are you doing with your life? And it's like, any and everything I want. I'm having fun. What do you mean? Christine, my friends burp along with me. Christine's my friend.
Yeah, that's right. Christine's our friend.
I'm a second because I don't have no friends. Like, don't all of a sudden act like the pandemic didn't happen and everyone stayed home and didn't hang out with friends for a while.
Years.
Don't act
For
like
years.
that's like, I'd rather be home with my dogs, right?
And that's what we have. We have a lot of animals. We have.
Do you have coworkers who are friends? I'm self-employed.
We have a farm too. We keep super busy.
What do you think is going on with the chickening? The chickening? That sounds like a scary, like, that sounds like they have, like, the movies, like, The Christening, or, like, whatever. That sounds like a scary movie parody, but with chickens.
What does that
Like
mean?
a chicken.
What is that? Is that something?
like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre butt chicken, and then there's just one. Have you seen like the chickens that they have like these fake arm things that they're like on like a metal band, and you can put it like on their like shoulders, next thing, and it'll hang down and it'll look like the chicken has arms. You get one of those that has like a little chainsaw on it and just like whoop. You don't need to justify yourself at all. Leah needs to find a life that's better suited for her. That's what I mean. If you can't, if you like have to constantly be with people or someone,
If you
or
can't
like
self-entertain.
if you can't like be content by yourself, I feel worse. I feel more bad for you than I would feel for someone that's like, oh yeah, no, like I don't have friends. If I wanted to, I have people that I could call that I've known since I was younger. We call them
acquaintances now.
I could call and be like, hey, do you want to go grab lunch? But, like, I'm also not 16, so I don't know how old you are, Leah. But I'm by myself all the time, but I hang out with friends too. That doesn't make any sense. How are you by yourself all the time, but hang out with friends too?
You know, times have really changed, you know. Like, years ago, I mean, I can remember I used to send out, like, so many Christmas cards, right? To, like, I mean, it was crazy. Now, I think I get two. I get two Christmas cards, like, physical Christmas cards.
Here, let me put it into layman's terms for you, okay? Yeah, mashed potatoes, Edgar. So I went to school in a very small town. I was fairly popular, you could say, in school. I had a lot of friends.
Everybody knew who she was.
About 25% of them turned into alcoholics. Another 25% got hooked on Xanax. A good 25% like the old nose candy. And the other 25% have like 3 to 4 children.
Multiple children, yes. And then there's the ones that have gone to jail.
So, so also
of which she's done none of those, ever.
I kept saying, like, when I was about to turn 29, I kept saying, like, I'm almost 30. But now that I, like, am 29, I'm like, whoa, I'm not 30. Whoa, hold on.
No.
Because I was going to say, like, I'm 30. I'm not 30.
30?
So, like, I'm 29. So, like, maybe because, like, Leah said she's 24. Maybe because I'm not 24, I don't feel the urge to, like, go. When I was 24, I might have felt a bit more compulsion to have friends and companions and whatever. But 5 years later, I'm like, oh, I actually don't care to waste my time in order to, like, hang out with someone else.
Most of the people I find that hang out and stuff, a good percentage of them, there's usually some type of alcohol involved or something when they're hanging out.
Have you not seen her content? Who would be friends with her? Well, Nuna Beeswax, or whatever the hell your name was. I actually never wanted to be friends with you either, so see how that works? It worked out great.
You're 24 and work too much to have a social life.
Who needs
and
friends?
I'm not interested. There you go.
See, that's the
we
thing.
Work a lot too.
Maybe the person that I can't even remember who brought up this conversation at this point. Yes, Marley, we're having ribs and mashed potatoes. Maybe the other
bread.
Maybe the person who was bringing up this conversation originally, maybe they have, like, no offense, maybe they have, like, really rich parents and they never have to, like, work.
Right.
Or never have to like do things that they don't want to do,
Or, like, do their own laundry,
and
do their own
and
shopping.
so like maybe they just like get to like hang out and have like fun with friends all the time. I hit around 25 or so a certain level of burnout where oh, it was Leah. She said I have to pay bills. So work full time. So you're still young. Give it another 2-3 years. You'll hit a level of burnout, especially in this economy, where I'm dropping the conversation. Well, I'm not. So you can leave if you want, Leah, but I'm going to keep talking. Thank you so much for the permission. Hello? Way to be a control freak, Leah. You have friends and you're that controlling? Wow. Okay. So anyway, so maybe maybe Leah has a endless pit of energy, but I think you'll soon probably hit a point where you like work and are paying bills that you go, "Oh my god. Like I'm actually tired after working and I don't want to call Becky and see if she wants to get together." I also don't drink. So, like, I'm not gonna, like, call Becky and, like, get together for drinks at the bar.
Happy hour.
And, yeah, so...
I don't know how people even afford it, honestly. I mean, I know, you can read menus online, how much they charge for a cocktail. If you go out somewhere...
You don't have to go out to have friends. Well... What if I don't want people at my house? And I don't want to leave my house?
But, like, how well do you know them if you've never met them? Like, I mean, some people, like people on here, well, you don't have to go out to have friends. Like, some people on here, you'll hear them say, "Love you," and all this fake stuff. You don't love them, And if you really think that a lot of these people on here that say they're your friends, just because they friended you, that doesn't really make them your friends.
I'm not hurt. No, Christine, you definitely don't have to mute her. Because it wasn't an intentionally malicious comment, but it's just interesting when, like, people... It's interesting when people live, like, different lifestyles and then you go, "Wait, what? You don't hang out with your friends?"
They call you out for having a different lifestyle.
I've never heard of that before. Okay. Congratulations, Leah.
And then, like...
Not everyone lives like you. I don't know what to tell you.
And, like, we live in the Northeast. So, when we change our clocks, it gets dark at 4 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and it's cold, like, 10 months out of the year here at this rate. So, I don't necessarily want to leave the house in the cold.
Except for work, Other than that, why not hang out at home, make some cookies, make a nice dinner, make a fire in the fireplace,
and
turn on a good movie.
I've said on other live streams, too, not everyone is fortunate to have their mom as a friend I have a built-in friend. And I have other friends. But oh my god, it's exhausting.
I have to tell you, even at my age, and it's more than 29, some of my friends, it's like babysitting because...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once once you're like more in your late 20s, whatever, you start to hit a realization of like that carries through to your age that you're like, wow, people are just woo.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends that, I'll talk to them on the phone, I'll message them, but man, I'm done with the, they will always want to go out and they're always like, checking out, who's the hot guys out, and I'm like, that's like work.
Well, and
then they're drinking, and I don't want to be their babysitters.
Well, for me, even the like alcohol and drug abuse that happens, or the friends of mine that went on to like just start popping out big families out of nowhere, a lot of them girlfriends that I hung out with around Christmas time, a lot of people just like, they can say they're your friends, then stop what, Kathy? Like there's a lot of people that will like act or say that they're a friend, and then you call them like I found out this guy I was talking to was married, and I like was trying to like talk to one of my girlfriends about it because I was kind of sad about it because I liked the guy or whatever. And
she didn't know he was lying. They had never met in person.
And so I like was messaging her and like FaceTiming her to like talk about it, and like just as an example, you know. And she like couldn't give us some shit. And like was very like brushing it off and like didn't care, like, and so like you can have friends, but like I don't care to like hang out with people or have friends that don't actually like care about like things going on in your life or like your feelings or things that are like whatever. And so yeah, like they be your friends, but they're not like very friendly or don't do things that are very friend like. And so a lot of those people, like I just stopped like reaching out to or listen, because those will still be the same people that'll bitch to you with all their
and they want you to
problems
listen. Yeah,
and whatever.
they want you to listen to theirs.
And then I'm like, wait, you ignored me last month when I was trying to talk about the guy that I was like seeing or whatever, and now you're calling me crapping on the guy that you were seeing, and you know, I don't think I want to hang out with you anymore.
Yeah, we're going to not have this conversation because you didn't listen to my conversation.
Yeah. So.
But even, like, you know, a lot of, you know, the women that I know and stuff, you know, they still, they want to go out and party and stuff. And that's just not, like, I've never done that.
Bean said quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, thank you for the roses. And even, like, you know, once in a while, you know, I'll say, you know, like if they want to get together, hey, thank you for the garden. I'll say to them, you know, they'll want to go out, and I know what that means, you know, that, you know, I'll be have to be the wheelman and the babysitter and whatever, even at our age. And so it's like, you know, you'll say, okay, I'll meet you for lunch. And then you tell them, you know, like, I have a dentist appointment at 2, you know, so ahead of time, you know, so that, you know, you don't get yourself into that situation that, you know, gets awkward, which is, you know, kind of strange, even, you know, when you get older that.
But yeah, if we want to go down like specifics, I got lots of stories about crazy people and why I like to stay to myself these days, but there just simply isn't enough time in the day.
It really isn't.
And I think everybody has stories of their own of why, at least the people that like to stay home, I think everyone's got at least a handful of stories where they go, if you hear my stories, you'll understand why I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
Because,
hey, thank you for the garden.
What are your favorite stay-at-home hobbies? So I recently
got lots.
I recently discovered that I really like Legos.
This is a new thing. Legos aren't just for boys. And they're not just for little kids that when your mother steps on them in the middle of the night, when they leave them out or vacuums them up.
Is that why, when I did, because I did a little Lego set yesterday or whatever.
And it was so cute. As
I was doing it, I was like, I don't think I've ever done Legos in my life.
Yeah.
I had a realization. Was there like when I was a kid, were they for boys? Is that why?
They were usually more of a masculine thing. Yeah, like they'd have kits to build like trucks and planes and
Yeah,
you know,
I guess
it
like
was
the
definitely,
flower ones are newer and
yeah,
stuff.
it was more, but now they've become more of like, I mean, they were always kind of an educational thing, but they were always just like primary colors. But there would be like black ones and stuff too. That's not a primary color, but like now they're like purples and pinks and light blues and all the different, which they weren't back.
You okay?
Um,
Baby?
and like even
Okay.
like the whole Legoland and stuff, all of that was originally like it was all very very masculine, and they're European.
Apparently, there's a big Lego store in the Providence Place Mall.
Oh really?
So maybe when we go to Dave and Buster's, we'll have to.
Oh right, we gotta write that down. We gotta do that, and we can even do that on a rainy day.
I know. I thought about saying if you wanted to. I'm sure everyone knows what Dave and Buster's is. There's a big like claw machine that you can like go in now and like be the claw.
Physically go in it.
So we really want to go to the mall and go to do that. And so
She's gonna be the claw, if anybody was wondering, but I'm gonna be the videographer.
you like lay on this like thing and go in and you.
You must put like a strap on. I mean,
Personally,
not like
that's
a-
not something I'm into.
No, I mean like a harness of some sort.
Yeah.
But I haven't even seen it. She's told me about it, and it just sounds like a scream. Has anybody seen this yet? The
Happy Pride Month.
the right the live what do they call it, grabbing machine, or what do they call
Claw
those?
machine.
Claw
That's what
machine.
they said.
A live claw machine. Has anybody actually seen them? There must be videos up. I'll have to poke for one.
Yes. I was gonna say because yesterday was a rainy day, but you were kind of napping yesterday. I was gonna say we should go up to the mall and go to Dave and Buster's yesterday, but.
Yeah, but we'll do the Lego store at the same time. That'll be fun.
But let's see, what other at-home hobbies do I like? I like Legos now. I like gardening, if you will, with I have quite a few
With the house
indoor
plants.
plants. I like
And plants that are going to be
baking.
outside get started indoors sometimes too.
I like baking and cooking.
She does an amazing job doing her own nails.
I like doing my own nails.
Beautiful. She does the gel,
Do you like the Lego plants? I want to get lots of them now. Yes. Yes.
She had a boot. I guess you made a video. We just haven't posted it yet.
Yeah, I haven't finished editing it yet. We have a pair of lovebirds, and so I got
They're so
Legos.
quiet tonight.
Yeah, I put their cover on. I put them to bed. I got a set of Legos that looks like identical to our birds, and so they're lovely, but don't start the bonsai tree.
Oh, and you know this firsthand. Sounds like.
I learned my gel has been chipping so bad. At first, when I read that, I thought it said something about chirping so bad, and I thought they were saying, "Oh my God, they're usually chirping so bad."
They usually are chirping away.
What was I?
Yours never chip.
They do a little bit here and there, but not really. I use the Beatles gel.
That's the one I as a gift. Hey, thank you for the garden. Had bought different ones, and then she told me which ones seemed to work, easiest to work with and stuff. So that's a lot of times when I'm gonna get her a gift. So she has lots and lots of colors to work with.
But let's see, let's keep going down the list. I like to do my nails. I like to play with my birds. I like to play with my dog. I like to give her a haircut or whatever. I like to...
In season, the butterflies.
I like to raise butterflies. That's not so much like at home.
Well, we bring them into the home.
It's kind of outdoor incorporated, whatever.
Well, like your archery, I guess, is outdoor too.
Yeah. I like to read. I like to watch movies. I think I said that. I like to paint.
She got her motorcycle license recently.
It's not really in the house.
No, right, right.
I like to do like calisthenics or whatever it's called, like yoga and handstands and stuff. I like to do like at home little spa things. I like to do a good little
Facials.
facial, little hair mask.
She did the foot masks just the other day.
Yeah. How's the pole doing? That's so funny, Christine. I have a little strip of pole down in the basement. Little workout pole, little calisthenics, whatever.
She's working up to it.
And yeah, I need to finally get down there. I put this pole up in the basement because it was like the most secure, like
you could attach to a beam.
Yeah, you had to attach it to a beam, and I didn't want to like have to get like a stud finder and like, because I got this pole thinking it could go like up and down whenever you wanted it,
and it's not that easy.
And it's not. So I was like, okay, you have to like find a beam to put it up, whatever. So I'm like,
and you need room around it.
And so I'm like, let me put it up somewhere that I know I'm not going to have to take it down all the time. I originally thought I was going to be putting it up like in the living room and taking it down when I'm not. So what are they saying? I'm Italian. Dude, if you don't know what we're saying, I
turn it to translate.
I don't know how to translate to Italian. I'm speaking English.
And then she put down, we got those, that like gym mat flooring, whatever. Too, because you don't want to fall on that on a hard cement floor in the basement.
But, so then I did all this, and then I set it up like in the fall, and then in the winter the basement got freezing. Like, it was tolerable. If I really went down there and was like really working out and worked up a sweat, like I probably would have been like nice or whatever. But I would go down there and
barbecued.
It was so cold, and so now it's finally getting warm enough down there that I can actually like use it. Because I would go down there and I'd be cold and like stiff, and like I would try to stretch and like warm up, and then I ended up like hurting myself like once or twice. I gave myself like whiplash because I wasn't like properly warmed up and trying to use the pole.
I have not tried it yet, and I don't have a lot of upper body strength, and I know it does require a lot of upper body strength. I've had a lot of surgeries and stuff. I'm a cancer survivor. So my upper body strength
ain't gonna be using it.
Will probably never be enough to really like utilize a pole anyway.
No one wanted you on the pole anyway. It's okay. It's all right. No one was expecting that.
I like the North Pole. I do love Christmas. Oh, but then around the holidays too, we do different like crafts and recipes and other stuff too.
Kirsten said, I was trying to read the comments. Thank you. Mom was about to swipe away. Kirsten said the Lego bonsai falls apart if you look at it wrong. It's top heavy.
Oh.
But I have butterfingers. That's funny. I thought you were gonna say like it took you forever to like construct it.
But we saw it at Target.
Yeah, I think I put it on my wish list.
That one was like $100, I think, that bonsai one. If it's the same one we saw. I think it was like $100. So that was definitely not a first time out Lego thing.
I learned, which I'm sure if you're someone that's ever done Legos before, because I like learned it on my first go, I found like about halfway through, I realized you have to like dump out all the Legos and then separate them into
sizes.
Like piles of what they are and like whatever, so that you're not just going and like batting through a pile of little
like
pieces,
making a puzzle,
trying to like find whatever. Yeah, if you like separate, which is kind of obnoxious. It took me a little bit of time to separate everything.
They should give them to you in little baggies because they make them.
Well,
when they're making them, they don't make them all like together.
Well, it would just be a lot of plastic, and then unless they gave them to you in resealable packages,
that's what they should do.
It would be kind of pointless because you would like the first time you open it, all that work of the separate packages would be.
Are you listening, Lego?
Done.
Put them in little separate Ziploc bags.
Said I think they do now. The one that I got, I don't know that my set was like a super new set, but it was, they were in like different pouches, but they weren't resealable. So it's like, Like, why did we even bother putting them in separate pouches?
Yeah.
I
I mean, you can just put them in baggies after, but
my life hack for doing Legos is separate them into, and then you can just go, oh, bing, 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 bing.
do you get that?
Yeah.
It's the bing bing.
So yeah. Definitely, I'm gonna like hold off on getting Legos for. Oh, you got a little bumpy on your foot.
They're not cheap either, Legos.
But I'm probably gonna try and hold off on buying any because it's like summertime and I should be like outside like getting sunlight. But come this winter, I might be
Dabbling.
on a Lego craze.
The there's some other really cool like 3D puzzle things. The
Brother was calling.
but we have a lot of gardening ahead of us this summer too. We're just waiting for the rest of the landscaping install to go in. So that, I mean, poor Meg, she started these sunflowers, and they're like, some of them are over 3 feet tall, and they're the giant ones. And we have particular places we wanted to put them in once the landscaping's done, but unfortunately, it's not all done yet. Hopefully, it'll be done in the next couple of weeks so that we can start getting some of those out of the pots. And Megan just got a really cool big archway arbor thing. That's gonna be fun.
Tatum just being
That-
so cute. Oh no, did I just feel a tick on you?
Oh, don't say that.
Don't tell me what to say. I'm just a little crusty in her hair. Girl, how do these, oh my god, how do these nails grow so fast?
I know we have hardwood floors, so you hear it too.
I just trimmed her nails and gave you a haircut, and here you are, kneading it
She's
all,
growing.
trimmed again. I don't understand.
But-
Whatever it is, you gotta write a book on how you get your hair and nails to grow so fast because people want the formula.
And it's so weird. I think this is going to be one of those summers in our area that it is going to like rain every weekend. So far, the past like since like May, you know, every weekend rains. Every single weekend. I feel so bad for. We're in an area that a lot of brides come to have their weddings and stuff. I feel so bad. You know, I mean, the amount of money. I mean, weddings are just crazy right now, or well, they get worse and worse. But pricing, you attach the word, you know, wedding to something. It's like you attach the word like boat or marine to something. All of a sudden, the exact same item is like, you know, 4 times the price.
Well, Mom's phone's about to die.
I know. I didn't realize I didn't have my phone on the charger.
She didn't charge her phone during her nap.
So
So
unless maybe the rain's going to get it out of its system now, who knows? But I think they're calling for a couple of days of rain next week
said
too.
it rains 6 days a week here in central New York since March. Literally, I was saying
Right?
earlier that it's like it's turning into like Washington on
You did say
this
that.
coast now too. Like, oh, sorry.
And so when the sun does come out, everything is like growing so fast, but you don't get like a day that you could like plan of things you wanted to do, like, you know, I mean, you could go out and do some gardening and stuff even if it's overcast, but
Been lots of napping weather this spring so far.
so maybe we'll have a glorious fall. Late the past, you know, at least like 5 years or so, it seems like September and October are like our summer. They're just beautiful, beautiful weather.
Spongy yard, yeah. Yeah. Hey, but it's better than a drought.
Yeah.
Because there's been years where it's been not enough rain, and that's
That's not good. Yeah.
almost worse than. But I think we're gonna wrap up the stream before Mom's phone dies.
Yeah. But I do want to remind everybody, because there's potential TikTok might be going dark next week. So just to remind you that we do have a YouTube channel. There's other videos and stuff on the YouTube that are not up on the TikTok, so you might want to go peek over there. But we still will continue our YouTube channel and going live there as well. And if you ever miss a live, we do post them up live to our YouTube channel. So make sure you're following us there as well, just in case something happens. It's past your bedtime
I know,
too.
Christine, when we came on like late today because we took a little nap, and so that, as we started the stream, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be running late for Christine.
I
We
know.
weren't getting on until like 8:30.
But I wanted to make sure that the meat was also fall off the bone too. I mean, that's how ribs are supposed to be. Just saying.
But yeah, we was gonna go look for monarch eggs today because I did see a monarch butterfly on when I took Tatum for our little morning walk this morning. So
Maybe we'll do it tomorrow morning if it's
we'll
nice.
probably do it tomorrow morning
Because it's supposed to get hot.
the
So if we go in
wind
the morning-
came up this afternoon, and so it's kind of obnoxious trying to like look on the underside of leaves when the wind's blowing everything. So we said, well, wait.
Yeah. So maybe we'll try to get out and do that tomorrow morning so we can get some of those little babies going and
Yeah, get some butterflies going.
get some butterflies. Just saying.
Anyways, shout out to Leah for sparking just so much conversation.
Riveting conversation.
And then she just took it as an insult.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leah.
Sorry about that, but
Sorry I couldn't be your dream girl.
next time.
Just let everyone down being a bitch. Oh, they all think I'm just such a bitch. Oh, my God.
Who's they? Because I don't. I'm not they. But yeah, thank you.
Leah's still here. Shout out to Leah.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We do try to come live like sometimes 3 times a week.
Thanks, Kirsten.
Typically Tuesday, Wednesdays. Sometimes we sneak another time in, but
In everyone's defense, I am a bitch.
you heard it here first.
But it's
Vote
just
for
like
Megan.
it's just like I'm like not that bad.
Vote for Megan as Queen Lego Builder.
I'm just like the type of person that'll make you go, oh, she didn't hold back on that one. Okay.
Look at that! Would you look at that?
Wow, what a ray of sunshine! And I go, yeah, here I am,
There she is.
being a ray of sunshine.
That's right. Well, hopefully we'll get some rays of sunshine tomorrow. We do have
Hey.
a busy day tomorrow.
Maybe sometime someone will say something that will inspire niceness out of me.
That could happen.
But for now, most of the time, I have a pretty good bitchy response.
Can you imagine?
Oh, Tatum's throwing toys. We gotta get out of here.
Uh-oh. Catch you on the flip-flop. Woo!
Bye.
Just saying. Thank you guys again so much for coming and
Oh,
hanging
and then
out.
everyone was
Again,
mad
we
at my
usually come on-
burping.
We usually come on
we pissed him off with that today.
We usually come on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Saturday. It depends.